Hello. So I am Wes Bush, the host for the Product Led Summit, and I am so excited to share with you Tim Solo. And for those of you that don't know, Tim, would you just be able to tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, so most people know me as the Chief Marketing Officer at Ahrefs, but I've been with Ahrefs for only 3.5 years. While a lot of people think that I was from the start of the company, that's how I penetrated myself there. Yeah, but before Ahrefs, I had all sorts of digital marketing and SEO-related experiences. I used to run blogs. I used to do WordPress plugins. I used to work in-house. I used to have clients. So I had a little bit of everything, but eventually settled being Chief Marketing Officer at Ahrefs.
Not a bad way to settle. That's perfect. And so, just curious, what is your favorite marketing channel?
uh, Actually, I have two of them.
Okay.
The I don't even know how to rank them. Probably I'll put the actual product first. So I do believe that by creating great product, you're creating word of mouth, and this is a growth channel. So like that's where the phrase "build it and they will come" comes from. But like it's not exactly how it works. But yeah, like if you're creating a great product and if you already have some users, you have to make those users talk about it. You have to impress them. And the second growth channel, the second way to get customers, to get revenue, is to make your like product offering or whatever you have available in search. And these days, what's interesting is that search is not only about Google, it's not only about SEO, but generally, whatever you sell, for example, people are searching for answers to their questions on YouTube. For in quite a few occasions, I used YouTube instead of Google to research different things that were interesting to me, or maybe I was on the go. Or sometimes people would listen to podcasts, or sometimes people would go to product summits or whatever. So whenever your audience is hanging out, whatever they're interested in, whatever they're searching for, you have to be there. And I see this as the huge channel of growth, like super important. And they don't really know where to put both those channels because both of them are equally important. If you have an awesome product but no one can find you, what's the point? If people can't find you but your product is awful, what's the point? So like those channels are kind of one like two in one.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree with you. Word of mouth, and then just making it easy for people to find you, as well as having that hook and great product experience. So it's actually something worth sharing, and people can talk about it because you just help them experience a really great outcome in their life and what your product is built to enable people to do. So I totally agree with you. And especially whenever it comes to product led growth, one thing I really noticed that Ahrefs does well is just leading with the trial. And so one thing I'd love to just hear a little bit more about you is just like, what are the marketing channels that are driving the most free trial signups for you right now? And if you could just pick one, I'd love to hear more about it.
Yeah. So what's interesting is that probably the channel that is driving free trial signups is the actual free trial signup, because
Really?
the uh, like in our case, our trial is not free anymore. Like because like
Yeah.
at one time when we looked at our data, at our stats, we noticed that twice as many people as we have paying customers are on our free trial at any point in time. So we have
Okay.
like a certain number of people who are paying to use our service, and two times more people are using our free trial. So we decided to put an end to it, and now our trial actually costs money. You have to pay $7 to use our tools because this is
Right.
unrestricted access. But before that, I could actually feel that our free trial is driving adoption, because anyone can go use like the full power of our tools for free, like absolutely for free. You get
Yeah.
access to everything, but for a restricted period of time. So you can get a ton of value, and then like you can go and tell your friends, like just what we just talked about word of mouth. When you when
Okay.
you when you achieve something, when you achieve your goal, you want to brag about it, or like you're having beers with your peers and you want to
Yeah.
beers with your peers. That sounds interesting. Uh, and you want to discuss like what are the latest happenings in your work life, etc., and you start sharing that I've used the free trial of this tool. It was free for a week or 2 weeks. and in this tool I was able to do this and that, and people start talking about it. So actually, the first driver of growth for trials is to actually have a trial. If you can have people use your product free of charge or for a little sum of money. In our case, it is $7 for 7 days.
Okay.
So practically, you're paying $1 a day to get access to like everything we have, and that's a lot. And like again, the channels of our leads, of our trial signups are still the same. So people are talking about our tool, our existing customers. We have quite a few of them already. And when you're small, when you're just starting out your product business, your SaaS or whatever, you have to focus on like bringing people in. You have to focus on growing like to the first 100 customers, to the first 1,000 customers. So your marketing, it kind of goes outside of your customer base. But I think the tipping point should be somewhere around 1,000 customers. It's arbitrary, but stick with me. Once you have 1,000 customers, you can market to them. So they are the people who can talk about you among your 1,000 customers. Like, who knows, you might have Gary Vee among your 1,000 customers. So if you'll be able to reach your customers with your message, and they will like spread it further. So Gary Vee might actually tweet that he started using some service like which is brand new, etc., etc. So you have to like make people talk about you. And the final channel is of course search. So like I said, people are looking for solution to their problems in Google, in YouTube, etc., etc. And like content marketing teams, blogging teams, and like probably entire marketing teams of different services, their goal is to get traffic, right? So for in many marketing departments, I see that their KPI, key performance indicator, is how much traffic they get to their website, blog, etc., etc. But like, I don't think that traffic is a good KPI, because I don't even think that leads in terms of like how many emails we convert into our email list is a good indication of marketing being successful. Because not only you should get traffic, or not only you should get email leads, you have to get relevant people who are potentially interested in your service. Like I usually make fun of HubSpot whenever I start talking about this, because HubSpot, like, they're super famous brand in digital marketing tool space. They have some kind of CRM. Like, I honestly never used it, but they have one of the biggest blogs in the marketing industry. I think they get over 7 million visits to their blog monthly or something like this. And using our tool, using Ahrefs, I was able to look at the top performing pages of their blog, and the page that brings them the most traffic from search, it's over 100,000 visitors per month from search to one single page, to one single article, is how to make a GIF image. So like, if people find you while searching for how to make a GIF image, and you sell like complicated CRM marketing software, it's kind of hard to like convert these people into your customers. So it's not only about making your website found and making your website discoverable in Google. It's about making like the pages of your website available for relevant searches. So whenever people are searching not for like something arbitrary, like, I don't know, something super popular, for example, any search around Instagram right now gets a ton of searches from Google, but that doesn't mean that you should be blogging about Instagram on your blog. You should write about topics, and you should have content on your website about topics that are closely relevant to your business, because then you can mention your business on your pages, in your content, and this is how you get leads, this is how you get trials, this is how you get brand new people every single month. Give a try to your tool.
Yeah, definitely. And I agree. I took part of your course, the Blogging for Business SEO course. So small plug for Tim over here, but it was fantastic. And one of the things I'll definitely point out that you mentioned again here is just tying all those keywords to business value, which is so important, because if you are, let's say, HubSpot and trying to drive free trial signups, or they have a freemium product, so more signups, and you're getting people coming to your blog for GIF images, and they want to convert this stuff to a GIF, it's probably not going to be that easy to convert a lot of those people to the signups. And so just tying everything to that business value and how you drive traffic is really important if you want to build a business. I mean, if you want to build a really popular blog with like millions of visitors and make $0, then I mean, there's many ways to do that. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Perfect. And so you mentioned one thing that I love to hear more about, which is just about the KPIs that you use. And so obviously you mentioned like traffic, it's more of it can be more of a vanity metric, but what is like the KPIs that you monitor regularly at Ahrefs?
Yeah, so when talking to fellow marketers, fellow marketing people, I feel that I'm incredibly lucky at my position because when I came to Ahrefs, when I joined Ahrefs, our founder, Dmitry, he doesn't really have, or back at the time, he didn't really have much knowledge in the marketing space, in the, I don't know, quote unquote startup wisdom space, etc., etc.,
Okay.
etc. He's a deeply technical guy. He knows like everything about like the latest technologies, the hardware, the servers,
Mhm.
the latest programming languages, etc., etc. So he's like super technical founder and CEO. I
Okay.
would say he's also like sharing the seat with our CTO because like he's deep into everything that happens in our company technically.
Okay.
So when I joined Ahrefs as the first marketing person, like the only thing that Dmitry was asking from me is to grow the number of customers that we have and grow our annual recurring revenue. So that's
Yeah.
it. He didn't care about traffic. He didn't care about like conversion funnels. He didn't care about cohorts. He didn't care about MRR churn because he's so technical. He was obsessed
Yeah.
by like following the latest stuff that is happening in the technical field. So he didn't follow all the marketing and startup cool aid that like you should be tracking this, you should be tracking that, you should be building this model,
Yeah.
that model. So from the start, I didn't have to report him on any of those KPIs. I didn't have to run A/B tests, like build those conversion funnels, etc., etc. I only focused on the bottom line, on the number of customers that we have and how much these
Right.
customers are paying us. And like 3 years later, that we were able to consistently grow our ARR by more than 60% year over year. And right now we're at 40 million plus annual recurring revenue. So like that's something. That's not
Yeah.
that you're
Definitely.
growing a company with like 1 million annual recurring revenue by 60% year over year. We're growing quite a big company. I
Right.
do understand that what matters for the marketing department and what matters for head of marketing is the bottom line. If you're
Definitely.
focusing on traffic, if you're focusing on leads, you're kind of doing it wrong. Of course, there are like different kinds of corporate setups because marketing could be separate from product management, product development. Marketing could be separate from sales department. So the goal of marketing can be to kind of get some kind of leads, pass them to sales department, and then it's up to sales department to convert those leads into customers. But in our case, we don't have sales, so the goal of marketing is quite straightforward.
Yeah.
We grow the bottom line, and marketing in our case is also like super integrated into the product. So not only like our goal is to like write some articles or whatever, marketing should actually deliver feedback from the customers to the product team and the other way around. So marketing is kind of the
Mhm.
bridge between developers who like
Definitely.
collect data, who build tools, who like create interfaces, and customers who are actually using all that stuff. So anything that marketing can do to please users, we should do this, and like it should affect the bottom line.
Okay. And so I guess to further that point as well, how do you drive the bottom line whenever it comes to what you do day to day?
um, I can explain like what I did today.
Okay, go for
So
it.
yeah, today I like answered a bunch of emails because like it's for anyone who is in a position of managing a team or like working with other people,
Yeah.
uh, you cannot get over it. And I think I saw that Bill Gates mentioned somewhere that bigger chunk of his day is simply answering emails. Yeah, but in
Yeah.
terms of kind of work that people can relate to, I wrote a bunch of articles. I wrote one article for Medium and one article for our own blog, so I'm creating content. Then I checked the performance of our social channels. I checked like what we were sharing on social channels and how did the people receive it. I communicated with our customers within our Facebook group because, for example, today I launched a poll. So because like we don't have a huge team of like 500 people or whatever, we have to
Definitely.
prioritize what we're working on. And for example, today I had a dilemma between two features. So we could start working on two different features, and they wanted to know which one would be the most relevant to customers. So I simply went to our Facebook group where we invite our customers to communicate with us, and I launched a simple poll like if we would like launch one feature tomorrow, like which of these features would you choose? And they started voting, and this gives us and this gives our product team information on what should we be building next. What else did I do today? Yeah, and today I also, because like I said, I'm kind of head of marketing, but I am involved in the product. So today I just went through the tasks that we have on our Basecamp, and I checked the status, like what features are in progress, what features we didn't start working on. And again, I reprioritized and I talked to our guys to know when are we going to start working on a specific feature, when are we going to complete a specific feature, because the job of marketing is to then announce that feature. This is the first thing, and then we need to educate our customers that we now have this feature, and then educate everyone else that this feature is available. So you have to be educating people inside who are already your customers, to retain them better, to help them like achieve their goals faster. And then you should be reaching out to all the people who are not yet your customers, because this feature could be like a cornerstone. This is what they were waiting for. And they would immediately sign up as soon as they learn that you have this feature. So this was my day today, and I think more or less all my days are more or less the same.
Okay. Yeah, no, I really like at Ahrefs how you have the marketing and then the product team so closely intertwined. And whenever it comes to like that poll example, just making sure that the customer feedback is very timely, very quick, and you're like integrating it together and working on it. Whereas I see a lot of other teams who are not product led that have like the marketing teams focused on like, let's generate marketing qualified leads. The sales teams focused on like, let's get the sales qualified leads. And then there's the product team like way down the funnel. And then they're like, hey guys, you're like, forget about us. And in terms of the feedback, the loop takes a lot longer to actually understand what customers do want. And so that's actually one of the big reasons why I believe product-led growth is becoming much more prominent in the software space, because it's the immediacy of that feedback. And that's a really great point. So thank you for bringing that up.
Sure.
And so whenever it comes to your team, how do you use SEO to drive signups?
So I think we touched on this on quite a few occasions already. But like the kind of the general view is that the general idea is that we need to identify the things that people are searching for that would be related to our product, and then we should build the relevant pages. So, and this could be anything, because like the big mistake that I was making as a newbie SEO back in the days is when I came to a company that was doing website building tool, CMS. My goal as like a SEO specialist within the team was to rank the homepage of that website for the keywords site builder and website builder. So this is all I cared about. I didn't care about the blog. I didn't care about the feature pages, like nothing. I only cared about, so I have two keywords. I have like literally, I have a rank tracker tool with two keywords in it. And I have a homepage, and I should be optimizing homepage, and I should be building links, etc., for the homepage of that website to rank for those two keywords. Thank God those two keywords were related. Like it would be simply hilarious if I had to rank our homepage for two unrelated keywords at the same time. Yeah, so like what people should do in terms of SEO, they should figure out what kind of searches there are, and then they should figure out what kind of pages they have to build on their website to be able to target these searches and to be able to rank in Google for these searches. Because in our case, clearly and obviously, we have our blog, where we have a lot of educational content. For example, when someone is searching for SEO tips, like if you go to Google and search for SEO tips, I think our article from Ahrefs blog should be somewhere in top 3. Maybe even it ranks number 1. I don't remember, because the rankings change all the time.
For sure.
Similarly, like if you Google for SEO audit, we're somewhere above. If you Google for keyword difficulty, we're somewhere above. and that is our blog. But then we also have feature pages and pages dedicated to our tool. For example, we have um, Content Explorer tool, and if people are looking for a tool called Content Explorer, they should be finding us. We have Site Explorer tool, they should be finding us. There's also a pretty popular search related to SEO, which is backlink checker. So people are looking to check their backlinks, and Ahrefs happens to do this. So we have created a dedicated page explaining that within Ahrefs we have a backlink checker tool. But the interesting point is that people were not looking to browse a feature page. They were looking to start using the tools. So what we noticed is that our feature page, it was outranked by the actual tools. So what we had to do is we had to actually replace that page with the actual tool. So right now, if you Google backlink checker, I think Ahrefs comes up first, and we have a free backlink checker tool. So you have to figure out what kind of searches people are searching for related to what you do. And then you have to figure out what is the expectation of people. Do they want to read a blog article? Do they want to use a tool? Do they want to see a feature page? Do they want to read a page from your help? Because in our case, for example, people might be searching for, and people are actually searching for Ahrefs domain rating. What is it like? And we have a help page for this. So people are finding our help page and reading it. So yeah, you have to understand, you have to research what people are searching for in Google. And then you have to create your website structure. You have to create relevant pages to target all these search queries.
No, that sounds great. And have you gone further with that one experiment you had with the backlink checker, where you had the tool and you gave people access to the tool whenever they came to that blog article? And have you applied it to your product itself, where let's say I'm typing in a keyword tool and then I immediately see the blog post or article about Ahrefs keyword tool. And when I sign up for the product, it takes me directly into that part of the product. So the user experience is just way, way shorter in order for me to get to value for what I had that intention behind what I searched for.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's not quite our case, because if we take backlink checker, for example, if you're searching for backlink checker and you're landing on our free tool, you start using that free tool, and almost immediately you realize that that free tool is restricted because almost nothing that is free will give you tons of value, because someone had to pay to build that. So what you're suggesting is that after people realize that they need a full access to the tool, our kind of onboarding experience should lead them to the backlink checker tool only. But in our case, the problem is that Ahrefs is not just the backlink checker tools. We have kind of 5 major big tools that help you with SEO, content marketing, blogging, etc. And by only kind of funneling people towards a single tool, which is backlink checker, first of all, we're doing them a disservice, because we don't explain how many more awesome tools we have, which they should also probably be researching and studying and learning how to use. Definitely. And second, people might decide that we're overpriced, because they're only looking for backlink checker, and they have at the lowest level it costs $99 per month, and they might think it is too much to pay just for a backlink checker, $99 per month. But what they don't realize is that they get 5 more tools, which would cover almost all their SEO and content marketing needs. And then immediately the price of $99 per month, it becomes more than reasonable, because if you buy all these tools separately, it could easily be 5x that price.
Definitely. And so that's really good. It sounds like you're definitely thinking about how you can, I guess, combines that keyword with just what could you use in the product, and make that very quick for people to actually experience that value, get to that aha moment, so that it is actually something that they would want to share with their friends. And yeah, that sounds great. And so whenever, let's say, you switched positions, you went to another SaaS company and they didn't have a lot of traffic or anything else, what would you do, let's say, in the first year to really ramp up the traffic and get more signups?
I probably do the same thing that I did for Ahrefs. Like it's a really tough question because of course like every company is different. Every company has different resources, like
Definitely.
different marketing budgets, etc., etc. But one thing stays the same. First of all, you have to understand the product. You have to understand what it is that you're marketing, because like if you don't understand like what the product does, how people are using it, and who are the people who are using it, how can you even like get ideas of what these people might be searching for in Google? How do you like I'm not a fan of creating like user personas or like customer profiles or whatever. So like as you can see, we don't have any sheets on our wall like pictures of random like boys and girls that work in, I don't know, marketing departments, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
etc. But generally everyone in our everyone in our marketing department, they have a raw idea of who our customers are, because they communicate with them so much. Like we even have a rule in our marketing department that you cannot join the marketing department kind of directly. You can only start in customer support, and then you will work like, I don't know, for half a year, and until we feel that you understand our customers and our tools perfectly. And only then you can get promoted to marketing department, because then you will have a ton of ideas of your own on what our marketing department should be doing to better to be a better tool, to be a better service for our customers. So yeah, the first thing is to simply learn everything about the product, about the customers, about the industry, and then I would go and start creating content on my website, pages on my website that would target whatever my target audience is searching for. And from there, on these pages, I would try to convert them into trying out my tool or service. And from there, I would iterate based on how it goes.
Perfect. Now that's really fascinating. I would love to hear a little bit more about how you got started with basically, if anyone wants to go in marketing, starting them off with the support team. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I came up with this idea because this is how I started at Ahrefs. So when I joined Ahrefs, like my title was product marketing director. Literally, that what was written in my contract. But essentially, I was a team of one, and I had to figure out like everything. I had to figure out the copy of our homepage, our blog, the tool tips inside our tool, etc., etc., etc. The emails we're sending, and like everything. So what I started doing is I started talking to customers. I joined the support chat. I was scheduling Skype calls with our customers. I was talking to them on Facebook. I even launched a thread on Reddit. So we have a Reddit community for SEO people. And I literally posted like, "Hello, I'm Tim Solo from Ahrefs. I'm interested to learn what you think about us. Like, uh, criticize us, tell us what we're good at. I'm listening." And the thread got like 120 comments or so.
Wow.
And I can't even say that I handled it well, because like I didn't have experience to kind of be a public face of a company. So I made some, I don't know, snarky comments or like sarcasm, and people didn't like it coming from a company representative. Yeah, so it didn't went well, but that was a huge learning experience. And just by making that Reddit thread, I learned a ton. And literally people were writing that we don't see many companies doing it. We don't see many companies going to Reddit and starting a thread like, I don't know, almost literally grill us, like tell us what
Mhm.
you like and what you dislike. So I felt that talking to customers is what helped me understand like what is Ahrefs and how we could improve it, how we could market it better. And from the like when I realized that this helped me so much, I then realized once I started hiring people to our marketing team, I just saw that like whenever a new person comes to our team, I realize that there's nothing that I can assign to this person, because this person has literally zero knowledge of our tool, of our customer base, of our features, of our industry. So what can I do? I can only put them in support until they figure out everything that is happening. So this is where the rule came from. And of course, there are exceptions to this rule, because I did hire a few guys that kind of bypassed the customer support, but still everyone in our marketing department has to do 1 day a month of like full customer support, customer chat. So every marketer in our team at Ahrefs, they're doing customer support to better understand who are they marketing to.
Wow, that's really great. And I didn't actually know that it still continued. You
Yeah,
technically
yeah,
never
yeah.
leave customer support.
It's still ongoing.
Perfect. And yeah, that sounds really fascinating. And have you heard any other businesses that are doing this?
Um, I think I've read in quite a few books that even like CEOs and founders they allocate some time to talk with the customers on the phone now and then. But I don't think that I've seen any like modern day companies explicitly saying like we do that. Every marketer in our team is doing like 1 day of support per month. So yeah, I didn't hear that anywhere.
Okay. And have you ever found that it's been like a block from hiring some really exceptional talent or not?
What do you mean?
So has it prevented you from hiring anyone in marketing that's you were like really keen to hire, but they just weren't like had a zero tolerance customer support kind of policy?
So far, not. No, no. Probably, I guess if I would hire someone of like a top level, now they would of course say no. But for kind of entry level marketers who have some experience, but they're not like I don't know, team leader or whatever, they're they're perfectly fine. And when I explain like why where this decision comes from, they perfectly understand it. But then again, like I said, a few guys managed to bypass this rule. But again, that's because they have a ton of experience and they are our long time users. So
Right.
both of the guys who bypassed, this is our head of blog and head of video content. Both of these guys were using Ahrefs probably before I even joined Ahrefs. So they know the industry quite well. They know the tool quite well. So I didn't have to put them in support for a few months. I just have to. They're still doing 1 day of support per month, so that rule still applies to them.
Okay, perfect. Well, Tim, it has been fantastic talking to you. I really enjoyed hearing about, especially your marketing team and just how you are growing it and really trying to have that customer facing hat on at all times. And it doesn't end after that first 6 months, it just continues. And it's a really great way to refresh people and really just remind them that if you're at Ahrefs, you are serving the customer and everyone has to share that load. And so I really enjoyed hearing that. So thank you for sharing that. And I guess to finish off, is there any other, whether it's resources or ways people can connect with you that you'd like to share?
The best way to connect with me is probably sign up for a trial of Ahrefs, because then you will get some emails with the best content from our blog, with some of our best tutorial videos. You will get an invitation to our kind of customer only Facebook group. So like once you join Ahrefs, I'm all over you. So like the best way to connect with me is to sign up for Ahrefs, and of course like find me on Twitter or whatever.
Perfect. Well, thanks for everyone for listening and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.